Scissor traps for moles. Ouch. Let's go and have a look how we use these. Scissor traps are really handy when you've got really sandy soil, which is what we've got here. In fact, you can see where that fox has dug all out of there. Look, it's all bright orange over there. It's a little bit more soil over here and more than sand, but it's still very fine. And the great thing about the scissor trap, go on then Pino, you're going to find the run for me. Pino, where's the mole? Find that mole run. Where's the mole run? Is it in this one? See if we can find it. Come on. Can you find it for me? It's in here somewhere, look. Come on, old girl. No? I'll do all the work then. Oh, she's digging that one. Let's have a look. Oh, she's got it. She's beat me to it. I think once her nose goes in, that's usually where it is, isn't it? There she is. Good girl. She's fantastic, isn't she? The pet interceptor. Okay. You don't want to sniff him out the hole. You're going to suck him to your nose. Come on out the hole. Lovely. So there's the run. So now what we need to do, we need to peel this back, and then we've got a run going that way. Where's the other one? So it goes that way and that way on this one. So it's going that way and that way. I always like to set them at the very furthest extent of the mole's runs. So this is the one end of the run, up by the truck up there. That's where the other end is. Have you been there? I think it's been in this hole very recently. In fact, if you look here, you can tell, because these mole hills, look, they're still very dark. There's little bits of light on them when they've dried out in the sun, but as you go backwards, look, you can see there's more and more dry on the top as it goes up the hill. And that means that these mole hills are the newest ones, so Pino's quite right. She can actually smell where the mole was probably half an hour ago. So what we're going to do now, we don't need to dig a massive big hole out with these. What we need to do, there's the run, so it's going that way and that way, the tunnel. You get this bit. I'm going to turn a little bit more into the sun there, so it's a bit better lit up. Is that even a word? And then basically this part here, this trigger, just sits in between the jaws, and you want to put it like that. Now you can put it where it is there. Okay, so it's literally, you've got those little cutouts, and they sit in there. Okay, but if you want to be really super sensitive, what I do, where these bits come through, you can actually sit this there. You're picking that up, Rick? So it's really super sensitive. Anything touches that now. Oh, he says, it's going to get it. So that's that little technique you can use. We'll just put it on the normal settings here though. We'll see how we go. It needs to be in the middle. Can put a little bit of a twist in it sometimes. That makes a little bit of a difference as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the jaws into the run, across the run. In fact, what I'm going to do, you want the jaws so that the run, which is there and there, you want the trigger so it's right in the middle of where the tunnel is. So there it is. And what I do is I run it both ways to make sure that there's no stones in there. Stones are a real enemy of these traps, because obviously if there's a stone that drops in between there and then the scissors close, but there's a stone there, it'll stop it closing on both sides. So, you know, it's pluses and minuses. And then what we need to do, my old bones on a Monday, we actually put him round the trap, got a load of air coming in, and then these bits of sods of soil, turf, we'll use these to make like a little canopy over the top. We'll get a bit more of this sandy soil, and we'll push that in. And basically, we don't bother marking these, not on a job like this, because we can see there's a line, there's only one mole here. We'll know how many traps we've put in. And that's about it really, but let's get the next one in. Pino, where are we going next? What about this one? You go this one here. Go this one. Pino. I think it's over here somewhere, mate. Where is it? Where's that one? Where is he? Where's the run? Isn't it amazing that a mole's, a dog's nose though, they're quite, there, she was right. she found it, you can see my fingers have slipped into it right there. So, leave that one now, Pino, leave it. Of course, dogs can be a little bit overactive sometimes and over into their jobs a bit too much, a bit like me really. So let's get another trap. It's very cold. It's not warm, is it, Rick? It's not warm. So just make sure that the hole that it's going in is just right. There you can see, it just slips into the hole. We've got the tunnel going that way, that way. That's into the centre again, as you can see. It's balancing on there. Then we need to make this just big enough so we can get the trap itself in, but remember, it needs to sit in the centre. You don't want it over to the one side, it needs to be right in the centre. And there's my lovely dog, feeder dog. You know what she loves to do? They've got some rare breed sheep which are over there, and those rare breed sheep do loads of little poos everywhere. And Pino loves to eat them. There you go. But she's 15 or 16 years of age now, so if she wants to eat poo and she's still here, I say get on with it, girl. I bet it's actually quite good for them. It's probably full of loads of probiotics and things like that, which you should be having too, because I have mine. Keep yourself healthy. Now sometimes you want the actual soft soil to fill the trap itself as well, because don't forget that a molehill is where the mole comes along and it's pushing forwards with those big paddle paws of it. It pushes forwards, and literally the molehill is where it's pushed the soil and soil that's dropped into the old tunnels. It's pushed them out the top. So that's
oh, the horse have come to pass a visit.
Also, very, very important, little tip for you here, is kick the old molehills over. Because if you kick the old molehills over, when you come back, whenever you come back, we usually leave it a week. I think I'm going to be back here on Friday this week, so 4 days. You'll know if you've caught the mole for a start, and you'll know where the mole is active, where it's doing its thing. So we've got 2 there. We get another one in here. I think we'll go and put another couple in up there, I think, Rick. Oh, Pino's saying this one. Is that the one, Pino? Let's do it then, girl. No? In fact, you know what? 2 there. I'm going to put 2 more up there. But let's kick these over. I've only got 4 traps on me for some reason today. We've got so many mole jobs on. It's a bit of a pain sometimes. Might stick one in the centre one and then one more up on these. That's usual. This is the usual way, the other way of doing things as well. If you haven't got a Pino, if you haven't got a little terrier, what we need to do is use the dibber, and we'll try and find where the one is. There's a lot of debate. Some people say, "Oh, don't put them in the tunnel away from the molehill and stuff like that." I don't think it really matters all that much, you know. In all honesty, I've caught them in tunnels away from the molehills, in the molehills. For me, for speed, I just prefer to put them in the actual molehill itself. Oh, there we go. You see that there? So as soon as that bulbous end comes through, I'll show you the bulbous end of the dibber. So move this away so it doesn't fall into the run. Use the dibber to guide our fingers down. And there's the tunnel. If you look at the dibber, you can see it's quite a simple device really. It's just a bulbous bell end on the end of the stick, and as that pushes through the soil, when it gets into the tunnel itself, it's boom, and it pops the bell end through into the tunnel. So let's see. Oh. It can be quite a physical job really, mole trapping, right? Especially when you've got big jobs on. This whole place used to be absolutely covered in moles. But you've probably seen that on some of our other videos. Now I've got a problem here because I can feel some stones. See, stones. You don't want them because if that gets in that trap, it's not going to close the trap properly. We'll let the mole escape. So tunnel's going that way, tunnel's going that way and that way. On this one again, so again, set the trap, set it in between like that, lock it. Oh, see it? Can you hear that? You might not be able to hear that on the mic today. We haven't got our proper mics today. But I can hear something. I don't want that. No. There it is. I don't know, it's not the usual kind of stones we get here.
Bit of slag, probably.
Bit of slag, yeah. Bit of slag. We got loads of slag in the soil around here because, believe it or not, even these kind of rural areas around the West Midlands, there were lots of steel workings and things like that, and that's what slag comes off, or slag for a better word. Okay, and again in the centre of the tunnel. On this one I'm going to actually put some soil into there so that the mole thinks, I've got to get rid of this. I need to get rid of all this soil that's dropped into his tunnel. So it'll start to push past it and push it up, and then it'll get caught in that trigger. And again, we use the sods. We're using some great words today, aren't we? Sods and bellends, slags, all our favourite things. Now this one, look, because it's a bit deeper, I'm going to leave a marker stick on this one. So those ones are quite obvious to see, really. So what we'll do. Oh, straight into a mole run, you believe that? Flip that side then. There we go. And that's just literally just to show us where it is. So we just turn around, check there's no more hills that we've forgotten. And we'll put one more up by the truck, I think. Over. Over there. Now, those might not be the same mole. I was saying that, see, with sandy soil, the mole will tend to have to go a lot further for its food because sandier soil doesn't contain as many insects and little beasties for them to feed off. So the mole has to do bigger feeding circles. And in this one, it's actually like a U shape when you think about it. Look, so it comes up this way, it comes up here, like this, and it goes up there. It actually goes round the back of the truck, and then it comes back down this side. Look. So I'm going to get another trap in there. Put one in here, I think. Oh, that was a bit easier, wasn't it? So straight in, bell end into the tunnel.
Foot's just gone into a rung.
I know, they're really shallow runs here, aren't they? This one's incredibly shallow. In fact, that one, I'm going to use a doofus. Old doofus trap, I think. Saying that, for this video, I really want to show you how the scissor trap works, didn't I? So we'll just use another scissor trap. And if I have to come out and do another day's work just to catch this mole, well, it's your fault. We don't mind. Now, there we go. You should be able to see quite easily on this one. So this grass, I can literally peel it back. I'll peel it back a little bit on that side. And then we can see the tunnels, one that way and one that way. Drop that in the centre. So with the triggers in the middle, sink it in that soil. Make sure there's no bricks or stones. Oh, I could hear one then. There's that. That's fine. That goes in like that. And then little bit of soil that side. Making sure that there's no actual bricks in the soil that you're putting in as well, because that's another little mistake that I make sometimes. Then get your sod, just sod over the top, soil in there. Knock them molehills down. And I think up until the next bit of this video, when hopefully we're going to come back and we're going to show you some moles that we've caught in the traps. And what we're looking for, we'll know the traps have gone off, because instead of being tied together like that, the handles will be like that. So instead of like that, they'll be like that, and then we can have a look. See you soon. Look what we got here then. Look what we got here. I'll clean out in a second. But it's looking good because there's no new molehills. No molehills. So this one has gone off. Look, you can see how wide it is. Is it in there? And there it is. There it is. You can actually see how the mole has pushed. Remember the trigger on there, look? It's pushed it in, it's compressed all that. Let's take the mole out and you can actually see how the mole, if I reset it, so there's the trigger, and the mole, it's come pushing through there, it's pushed that, and it's pushed the, oh, and he caught his fingers. There you go, on dead mole. Now, because we're not glory hunters, and we only do this because it's a profession, and because these moles need to be gotten rid of. Don't forget that on here there's loads of horses and stuff, very expensive horses. They can't afford to have a horse breaking its ankle basically, and then we have to have the horse put down. So that's why we get rid of these moles. These moles, we're not going to have them as a little trophy hanging on fences and things like that. I find it disgusting, to be honest with you. I don't like killing anything. But basically this mole, it goes back in the hole, and that'll act as a bit of a deterrent, especially in these cold months. And it'll keep other moles out of the territory, because obviously the less moles that come into this territory, they can go and live over there, they can go and live over there. We don't care. This is our customers. This is what we care about. But that is scissor traps in action. I think there might be another trap up the top there as well. I think that one's gone off, mate. So I think I was right with everything you're saying about the two runs. Hello, girl. Oh. Now all of this was just that one mole. That one mole, it was basically what we call working. It was working up that way, up here, up to there, and then coming back down here in a U shape. Usually they'll tend to work in like a magnifying glass kind of shape. They'll have what we call a feeding circle, where you'll have the nest or the castle, as it's called for a mole, and the castle is there. It'll have a feeding run to there, and then it'll have the feeding circle. We'll take these out, and we hope you've enjoyed it. And next we're going to be doing Talpex traps, I believe, or maybe putangs. Putangs. I don't know how to pronounce it. I used to love hunting for putangs. Now I use putang traps. How times change, eh? You're not working now, my girl.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Pino. Over here, Pino. Where is it? Where's the mole? Find the mole for me. Where was it? Here somewhere. I can't remember where the mole was.
I don't think she cares.
I can't remember where the mole was. Do you see me put that mole in, haven't you? Do you want to? Come on, you. Come on.